This game is balanced around scrubby fucking play, right? That's the problem I have with the game's balance. They can't really fix it until they remove the scrubbiness. And the reason for that is, if you look on screen, I have like the two biggest offenders, right? Aaron Black and Sub-Zero. And these characters, Aaron Black is balanced around this shit, right? Right? So he does the back 2-2-2. He could stick a slide in anywhere, blah, blah, blah. He could do back 2-2-2. Scud shot to keep himself safe, right? And so the idea is, if he lets the string rock, he could be punished, but he could spend a bar to keep himself safe, or he could sneak in a mix-up, right? Because if you look at back 2-2-2, like they're almost all overheads, right? Okay, it starts with a mid, and then it goes overhead, overhead. And the idea is that Aaron Black could sneak a slide in here and there, right? And then make you guess 50-50, right? 50-50. But the problem with that is, if you look at the frame data for back forward 3, that shit starts up in 21 frames. In the back 2-2 mix, at the highest level of play, this is where you should be balancing the game. Not at the lowest level. You don't balance around Combat League. You don't balance around lag. You balance around the highest level of play. And this is why Aaron Black doesn't get a lot of play at the highest level, is because this mix-up is not real. 21 frame startup. That means you can train yourself to react to that and catch it every time. And this is why, what's the guy, the number one Aaron Black, Deoxys, I think, is the highest rank, or the most notable Aaron Black, right, in offline community. He never goes for back two, the back 2 string into slide, because he knows at the highest level of play, when he's in there with guys like Tweedy and Sonic Fox and Ninja Killer, they can all react to that and punish it. So basically that mix-up does not exist at the highest level. That's not a tool Aaron Black has, right? But the thing is, the character is balanced around this mix-up, because that string is unsafe. Back 2-2-2-2 is unsafe. Back 2-2 slide, back 2 slide, all of anything, any way he ends it other than scud shot meter burn, or in variation 3, the acid pour, the one where he hits you with the gun. I believe that's safe. Anything he does into that, anything he does off of that, except for ending it with those things, is unsafe. So, like, he basically has no mix, and he has no hit confirm, right? Because you're just going to dial it in anyways, unless you get the read on, because you have to cancel before the last hit to be able to get the scud shot out. So, I mean, you could theoretically hit confirm off the 2 hits. There are people that will. There are people that can. But there's no mix. And the character is balanced around this mix. Like, all of his kit is balanced around it. You can't buff or nerf anything without ruining the character or making him overpowered because of this mix that doesn't exist, right? That's the problem with online and offline, is we're playing 2 different games. Offline, this doesn't exist. Online, it's one of the most deadliest tactics, right? You look at Aaron Black and you're like, fuck, dude, if I fight this guy, I'm going to be eating back 2 mix all day and I'm going to die. And Aaron Black's one of the best characters in the game online. But offline, he's trash, and you don't see him in tournament, and people complain, how come my favorite character isn't in tournament? It's because they balance around scrub lord tactics. What they should do is balance the character around the neutral and forget the gimmicks, right? Forget gimmicks, forget mix-up, remove all that. Balance the game around neutral. And then if you're going to have a character balanced around a gimmick, that gimmick needs to be legit. Because Aaron Black kind of struggles with everything else other than this mix. So they go and they buff a lot of his shit, like his pokes, right? Like his down pokes. This shit is like super good. Like that's super good. Like he has like tools that are like super, super good, but they're not dominant. Like he's not going to win a match on doing like down 3s and stuff like that. And it also makes him very bland, right? If Aaron Black's entire strategy, like the good strategy that is safe, is like down 3 into 2-1 and then like stagger 2-1s and down 3s, like what separates him from like Nightwolf or Cassie, who are like low poke into 1-1-1 or low poke into jab, right? It makes him very, very bland. The one thing that makes him interesting is that goofy ass mix up, but it's not real. And they balanced it around not being real, right? The whole idea behind Aaron Black is like, yeah, he's a monster and he's unstoppable if you can't, if you don't know how to like deal with that mix and react to it. But the problem is at high level, everyone can. So Aaron Black just doesn't exist, or he really struggles. And that's the problem. They shouldn't be balancing this game like that. The other character, right? The other character we have on stream or on screen, right? This asshole, right? Sub-Zero. That move right there, forward 2, the overhead, that's like his scariest move, but it's only scary online. Offline, it's easy to react to, especially in the mix. Now, using it in the neutral, right, just going for raw forward 2s, kind of hard to react to it. It's fast enough to where if you're not looking for it, you can't react to it. And there's so many things happening in the neutral that you may or may not be looking for it. So it is kind of difficult to react to that thing in the neutral. But Sub-Zero's strength is the mix, right? The blender. The character is balanced around the blender. He's balanced around this, right? You do that, and then you go there, like that kind of shit. The character is balanced around this blender. They can't make his other tools too good because he has the blender. But the thing is, at the highest level of competition, the blender doesn't work, right? Like, you don't see Sub-Zeros even attempting it in tournament because it's a liability. If I do that, I'm going to die, right? And in tournament, like, it's 2 losses or you're out, right? Or 2 losses and you're out, right? So you don't want to lose. People play more conservative. They don't do a lot of risky, stupid shit because they only have to be wrong twice. And then now they have to go home. It's a different mindset playing offline than online. But when you balance the game around Scrub Lord tactics that work online and work against beginners, which this whole game is balanced around beginners, and it should not be that way. It should be balanced around the highest level of play. If something doesn't exist at the highest level of play, it should not be a focus of balance, right? Aaron Black shouldn't be so gimpy in every respect of his character because back 2-2 slide is so dangerous. Back 2-2 slide doesn't exist in high level, so you just basically have a gimpy ass character who like this is it. This is the character at high level. This is Aaron Black, right? This is Aaron Black at high level. That's it. Everything else is pretty much unsafe, right? Like, that's not really an interesting or fun character design. Every character does that. Every character has to do that. Fucking Nightwolf has almost nothing but that, right? Down poke into fucking 1-1-1. Like, Aaron Black, down poke into 2-1. Oh, they blocked? Okay, well, what do I have now? Nothing, right? And it makes every character feel so bland and boring, and this is the thing that people are talking about, how the characters are so gimpy and so watered down. It's like, if you're going to give a character these goofy ass mix-ups and all this crazy set play, and that's how the character's going to be, then let it rock, right? If you're going to make Aaron Black and you're going to balance him around this, right? You're going to balance him around that, then that should be legit. That should be a thing that you should be scared of, and that's how you approach the Aaron Black match, right? Instead of like, oh, back 2-2-2 is a joke and it's a gimmick, it's more of like, okay, I have to be prepared for back 2-2-2. I got to watch out for it. And you see Aaron Blacks just do amazing things in Kombat League and online, right? They just blow people up. But in tournament, you never see people pick Aaron Black. He's a liability. And most of this roster, that's the problem with most of the roster, is that they're balanced around gimmicks, and you don't see them. You don't see them at the highest level of play. You don't see pros want to fuck with them, right? Look at this stupid bitch here, right? This fucking idiot character. 4-2-1. Oh, back 1 or back 2, right? Oh, 50-50. Lol mix. But it's not. It's not a mix. If you are a Sindel player and you land a hit with forward 2 and it happened online, then you're a scrub lord. Like, that's it. Because that shit's like fucking, what is the startup on? That shit's like 25 frames on startup. So like, you're going to fucking get blown up. And here's the deal, right? Because a lot of you guys are like, well, I beat you with that shit, right? I beat you with that. And like, that's fine, because we're playing online, and sometimes it's hard to fuzzy guard, and it's hard to properly do things on reaction. So beating me online with these gimmicks doesn't mean anything, because if you play offline, like, those gimmicks don't work. And I try to encourage and train all of you to be killers, right? Not killers in Kombat League, okay? Nobody gives a fuck about an Elder God, right? Not killers in online casuals, not killers in some dumbass King of the Hill, not killers in fucking, Aquaman or Destroyers online tournaments. Okay, I train you guys and I work with you guys and I teach you guys to be killers in the real fucking world where it really matters, where you can actually become a real life champion. Sure, I can't do that, right? Or maybe I'm not good enough. But you know what? One of you guys could be, and I'd rather you not have those bad habits, right? So you look at this shit. Startup, 25 frames. Dude, that's like fucking reactable. Like super reactable. I can sit here, right? And I can set her, right? Record slot 1. Oh, I'm playing Sub-Zero. Control player. Player 2. AI options. Record 1, right? We'll do that. Block, right? And then we'll go to record slot 2. Right? We do that. And then block, right? And like this is how you train it, right? Hold on, not playback 2. Oh shit, and now I recorded that. Right? Hold on, playback, random hidden playback, right? So you can sit there and practice this. Right? It's not hard to react to that. Oh, I fucked it up. I fucked that up. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Right? Like you can react to this. Oh, I missed it there. I was talking. But like at the highest level of play, at the tournament level, which is what I'm trying to like encourage you guys to pursue, right? There are people that sit there and practice that shit all day, right? All fucking day. Even like the streamers, fucking Ninja Killa, fucking Scar, all of those guys. Sure, they don't stream that they practice that, but I guarantee you, they fucking practice this mix-up, right? They just sit there and drill it and drill it and drill it, so that way they don't fall for that mix-up. So when you're looking at the highest level of play, the best players in the world that did lab that did practice that, and you go into a tournament with those bad habits, you are going to lose. And that's the problem, is that the game, like certain characters are balanced around that, and that's why you just don't see them in tournament. You don't see them competitively. Nobody wants to really fuck with them. People will play them casually for fun. You'll go and pull up Sonic Fox on YouTube. Lol, look at my Sindel. Sonic Fox isn't pulling Sindel out in tournament, right? That's the problem with this game, is it's balanced around like scrub lord tactics that don't work. If you're gonna make Sindel have an overhead and make that be part of her game plan, then don't make it so easy to react. Like if they were to make that overhead 17 frames, then now Sindel offline fights the same way as Sindel online, and you can actually explore the character and see how far that character can go in tournament. But they've said, no, we don't want the game to be about mix-ups. We want it to be about neutral. But the problem is these characters that are balanced around mix-ups have shitty fucking neutral. Like really shitty neutral. Like what is Sindel's neutral? Forward 4. That's it. Just one move. Forward 4. Like the character ends up being very bland and boring. I'm not saying you can't. You probably could win a tournament with Sindel doing nothing but forward 4, forward 4, forward 4, right? And just fucking playing the neutral with that. But is that really fun? Is that really exciting and deep and interesting as a competitive player? Do you feel challenged when you fight a Sindel and they're trying to play safe and they're trying to play conservative and they're just spamming forward 4 the whole match, right? Because the other tools are a liability, so they don't want to use those tools. So they're only going to use the tools that are safe. It's not really fun or exciting or interesting, and that's why a lot of people are saying that the game is very bland, because at the end of the day, everything that is a gimmick doesn't exist online or offline. So what you're stuck with is a very, very neutered character. Like Sub-Zero is like back 1s, back 3s, down 4s, and like 1-2s. Like that's it. You hardly see the forward 2 unless it's like a fucking Hail Mary forward 2 fucking fatal blow. I'm going to die anyways. Like you don't see that stuff. You don't see people playing these characters to their optimum level. So like I say, you either give characters decent neutral tools so they can compete at the highest level, or you make their mix-ups real and you make them legit 50-50s. Because at least in MKX, right, people complained about MKX and they said, oh, there's too many 50-50s, there's too many gimmicks, there's too much bullshit, right? They're just flipping a coin, they're not outplaying me. But at least every character felt like they could play the game, right? Like every character wasn't good and the top tiers were the top tiers, but every character felt like they were playing their strategy in MKX, right? If I pick like a low tier character, I don't know who's even low tier in that game anymore. I don't know, fucking Reptile. It was Reptile. He's mid tier, right? If I play Reptile, I feel like in MKX that I can use all of Reptile's tools. They may not be as good as everybody else's, but I can use all of them. And B, I'm doing the same thing as everybody else, because in MKX it was all rush down, mix up, 50-50, blah, 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 right? And Reptile could do that. He could run, he could mix you up. So in MKX, it didn't matter what character I picked. I felt like that character could play MKX, right? The game that every other character is playing, that character plays it, and I could use my entire command list. And like I didn't feel gimped or neutered, and I didn't feel like certain moves were a liability. Whereas in MK11, not every character is playing the same game. Jackie is playing Marvel vs. Capcom, okay? Garrus is playing fucking Mario Brothers, but he's Bowser, and you're fucking jumping over lava, and you're jumping off the ground is lava. Like, there are certain characters that aren't playing the same game as other characters, and then everybody else is playing like this weird neutral, like looking for pokes and kind of using highs in the mid-range and like that sort of thing. But like if you pick a character, like if you pick Sindel, it's like you feel gimped. You're like, I can't use that. I can't use that. That's unsafe. That's a liability. Why would I even play this character? I mean, I guess if NetherRealm wants it to be broken up like these characters we put in the game for fun, these characters are supposed to be competitive, then just fucking say it. Like NetherRealm, if at the end of the day you just want your tournaments to be Jackie, Cetrion, and Garrus, then just come out and say, yeah, dude, we balance Jackie, Cetrion, Garrus. Like, we balance those characters for tournaments. Like, everybody else is balanced around fun and, like, casual play. Like, I don't think anybody, like, people would be mad, but I think, like, nobody would be frustrated trying to make a character work because it would be, like, set. Like, yeah, dude, like, you can't make Aaron Black work. Why are you bothering? Like, if you want to be competitive, you shouldn't be picking that character. The devs themselves said that he's not balanced around competitive play. And that's fine. Like, that's fine to sit there and say, hey, man, we can't balance a roster with 100 and something characters because every character having 3 variations means there's, like, 100 characters, right? Can't balance a game around 100 characters. We're going to balance it around these 6. And that would be fair. Like, everybody would say, all right, it sucks. I don't want to play Jackie and Garrus and Liu Kang, but that it is what it is. But right now, characters are balanced around gimmicks that don't work, and, like, they need to stop that. Like, just stop that. Get rid of the gimmicks that don't work. Either make the gimmicks work, right? Either make the gimmicks work and say, this is what our game is, okay? Sindel has an unseeable overhead, low mix-up, and they lead to combos, and that's what the character is. Make it work the way you designed it, or make it not work and give them better neutral tools and say, all right, well, like, we have this gimmick if you want to, like, scrub people and beat beginners that don't know how to deal with that, but, like, at high level you still have tools to play. Like, there should be moves, like, if they're going to do that, make there be moves that are just for fun and moves that are for serious, and then you have a full complete command list. Right now, very few characters have a command list. They have like 2 or 3 moves that work, and then a bunch of shit that's just gimmicks and stupid shit that you can scrub people out in Combat League. Anyways, that's my fucking rant session, I guess. My bitch fest on why the balance in this game is kind of fucking suspect. So like, comment, subscribe, put a thumb in your ass. Listen, trust me on this. Trust me on it. All right, I'm gonna get out of here.